right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing, and today we are going to go through a very cool strategy for getting listing leads that you can use on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, among a few other spots. But very effective strategy, so I'm excited to share it with you guys. Before we get into today's presentation, I'm going to bring Bill Seitz, our corporate broker, on the line. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, everybody.
All right. It's a beautiful fall day on the California coast here, so hope everybody's been enjoying the great weather.
It's been about as good as you're going to get it.
Exactly. This is why we live here, huh?
Absolutely. No, it's absolutely glorious morning, crisp and clear. Chilly, but I'm sure it'll warm up and be nice.
Yep, it's perfect.
I recognize that house there on the screen. That is that who such sold that? It was
Harold Erickson.
yeah, Harold Erickson, and that is like a round the block from my mom's house.
That is so cool. Yep, that is right there in Los Gatos, huh?
So yeah, cool neighborhood, super quaint and awesome property. So good job to Harold for getting that thing sold.
Absolutely. I'm going to use his single property website for a little demonstration. So thank you,
Yeah.
Harold.
How clean does that look? I mean, that looks amazing.
I know. These are just ridiculous, guys. I mean, slideshow, neighborhood gallery, on and on and on. What else you need?
Yeah, no. So I presume the Broker Tuesday tip went out yesterday.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to spend a minute with everybody, kind of reminding it because I got reminded myself, which I thought was, um, it's like, listen, we're all constantly learning stuff and getting reminded of stuff, and I wanted to just explain real quickly about some of our contracts and some of our contracts, and most of them are actually bilateral contracts, right? So in a bilateral contract, each party has an obligation to the other, right? So it's not, when we take a listing, we have a lot of responsibility, right? We have a responsibility to our client, to the brokerage, to do things ethically and above board, and to promote or market the property, negotiate, la la la, right? Um, and in the other side of that equation, we have a seller who has an obligation, right? Seller has to be communicative. Seller has to make their house available for showings. Seller has to make their home available in investigation periods and different types of things, right? So it's a two-way street, right? This isn't a unilateral contract where one person has the obligation only. This is a two-way street. And the reason why I bring this up, one, I think it's important for all of us to understand that just on its own definition. And I'm just going to read the definition really quick because I have a actual um, scenario I want to share with you guys, and I think it'll tie together nicely. So, anyways, a bilateral contract is a contract in which both parties exchange promises to perform. One party's promise serves as consideration for the promise of the other. As a result, each party is an obliger on that party's own promise and an obligee on the other's promise. One party cannot unilaterally change the terms of the agreement and vice versa. And I just, wrote this is an important reminder of obviously dealing with modification of terms and enlisting contracts. So, and the reason why this actually came to my attention was we had a client of Alta Realty Groups. This was a seller, out of state seller, right? Send a certified letter to one of our listing agents. And I'm going to read you what he wrote. Number one, in recognition of interest rates going down, they've gone up, so he's wrong there, but this is interesting, and we'll get to that in a second. In recognition of interest rates going down and house prices going up, I too would like to participate in the rising market. Please, forthwith, and for the remainder of the listing contract, which ends November 12th, 2024, or until further notice, raise the owner's asking price for the subject property to $1,200,000. So 1.2 million is what this seller would like to do for the next basically 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. The house is currently listed at 998 and is basically priced pretty much right on the button, right? Um, and so in this scenario, I said, okay, this was brought to my attention. I go, how valid is this? Certified letter came from the seller, right? They took the time to write this thing and certify it. And so I got on the phone with the car attorneys and car legal and went through this scenario with them because, once again, it's like, ooh, certified letter that, if we don't oblige or do what the client is asking, are we going to, are we, not, you know, participating in our, good faith and representing our client? But the answer was, and this is why the bilateral contract comes into play, the seller cannot unilaterally make that decision because the agreement for the listing is at 998, right? And the seller cannot just mandate that they raise the price to whatever they want because that's going to affect your ability to market, sell the home, you know, la la la. And so in this case, it's actually really interesting because we've gotten a full price offer at 998. So the agent has done everything that they've been asked to do. They marketed the home, they made it available, they've got the marketing, the photos, they put it blasted everywhere, and showed it to over 60 different buyer groups. But to get this bizarre letter, right? It's a little bizarre. Uh, um, it's interesting to see that, or this is just a reminder for all of us that these contracts are two-way streets, and you know, I think sometimes we forget that, and we think, oh, the sellers, the client, blah blah blah, and which they are. I mean, they are, but they can't just start doing unreasonable things, right? That just in this case, I think the seller's just completely out of touch with what's happening here in this marketplace in Orange County. But just keep that in mind. And so, too, if you do everything that's asked of you and you deliver a full price offer, in a solid offer, and they don't accept, or they, you have probably a case to ask for compensation because you've done everything that you've been asked of in your agreement in this contract, right? And so, that's something, obviously it takes a lot of effort probably to chase down and try to go, after compensation in these situations. But, if any of you are out there and you go, well, this has happened to me, and, I wasted a ton of time, I spent money on marketing. I know it's happened to myself over the years, at least once or twice, and it stings, right? And then you just have to weigh, do I really want to go after, spend the time and energy to chase a commission? But some of you might say, you know what? Yeah, I feel like I'm owed a commission, and I've done all the work, and so I think there's a viable, place for fighting for yourself if that situation arises. But it needs to be clear. It needs to be absolutely clear that you have done what it takes to sell the home. You've brought maybe a full price offer, maybe multiple offers, and the seller's just not, just for whatever reason, not cooperating. Well, you may have a reason for getting compensated. So, anyways, a little long winded there, Kevin. Sorry about that, but
No, that's all right. It's just so important. These little things that come up and, you're seeing it all the time. So obviously, our agents are going to be running across it. So it's very, very important. Much appreciated.
yeah. And so let's just go skip to the financing really quick because Debbie's not going to be on today. She has another appointment this morning.
Yeah.
So here we are, 4.22. And when they,
Wow. Look at that, Bill. That is just amazing.
yep. And you heard it first here.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We know what we're talking about. And so this is the way this I've come to this realization. Um, some of you might not agree with me, but I'm calling this a bait and switch. Um, I'm calling this a bait and switch because of the election. They said that the Fed was cutting rates. It was all over the news. It was everywhere, right? And look what's happened. We're back to basically where we were in July uh, for interest rates, and we've probably gone up about at least a half to 6/8 in interest rate reversal. So, rates have gone back up quite substantially. You can see it right there on the chart. The chart doesn't lie. Um, and so, that's a little bit frustrating for everybody. But it's now more than ever. We preached about this a lot last year when rates were even higher. Those 3-1, 3-2-1 buy downs, 2-1 buy downs are still super relevant. They still make a lot of sense on so many levels because I think that sellers are a little bit overall are more or they're more apt to provide a credit, do something in these terms. So be reminded of that. These buy downs are great for first time buyers, great for people that still we still anticipate that there'll be some interest rate relief moving forward. Who knows how quickly, but 3 years, is a long time, and or you can do the 2-year 2-1 buy down. So those are just tools that can help you. If the seller's going to pay for it, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Right?
Oh, that's a great deal. So if you have questions about those buy downs, call Debbie Saccone. I'm going to put her phone number and email in the chat. Too easy. She's very approachable. So she's a resource for you guys. So make sure you utilize her and understand. If you don't understand those programs, she'll explain them to you. And then you can in turn explain those to your clients. And then boom, you are bringing value to your clients. So really good stuff, Bill. Appreciate that.
Yep. And if you can't reach her, if she's tied up, you can certainly ping me as well. I'm very fluent in this program, and so it's a great option. And so when people are saying, "Oh, I don't know if we can afford the payment," hey, this is a great way to interject. Hey, you know what? There's a program out there that you can get 3 percentage points off of your start rate, and you can ease your way into your payment. And it's just a no-brainer, to be honest.
I just totally messed up your phone number. Here it is. 3762, not 6762.
949 on the area code too.
There you go. All right. So now we're going to switch gears. Oh, and also just a great reminder, using Debbie Saccone does get you loyalty points. And so loyalty points can be used to buy down your flat fees and other great things. And also a reminder, we do have our in-house escrow group, Legacy Escrow, and Raquel Bauer is a consummate professional, really easy to work with as well, wealth of knowledge. And so if you have questions about escrow, if you'd like to open an escrow, don't hesitate to contact Raquel. And of course, both of their contact information is always on the webinar replays that I send out every week. So I came across this really cool strategy for using Craigslist. So, Craigslist was a lot of realtors really used it, many years ago. It's totally relevant still. It has a ton of traffic. So traffic is what we're looking for as realtors. We want to make sure that we're getting our listings in front of as many people as possible and our name in front of as many people as possible and all of our marketing, right? So Craigslist is just a cool another spot where you can get your message out there. So we always talk about a good marketing mix. And so, putting your listings and your information on multiple places, that's going to get you that good mix. It's going to get you, certain people have their go-tos, right? I have a friend that he goes into, we're just out in Texas. He lands there and he opens up Craigslist and he sees what's going on. I'm like, that's weird, but hey, he's probably not the only one. And the stats prove it. A lot of people are on Craigslist and it has a ton of traffic. So yeah, Craigslist, great. But having a really good strategy for creating these, Facebook, or I'm sorry, these Craigslist Craigslist listings, that's going to be the big deal that'll actually get, either somebody to click through to your ad or to, give you a phone call. So let me switch to my other screen here. So we're going to go through a very, very specific way to make these ads, and then I'll show you examples. So first of all, you're going to be posting your listing ad on Craigslist, also works on Facebook Marketplace like a champ. And there's also two other ones, Oodle and Realty WW, that you can also experiment with. I'd say medium traffic on those, high traffic on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. So a couple very, very important things for you to keep in mind while you're creating these ads. Don't put your name on it. Sometimes, and just the studies show and the split testing shows that if you have your name on it and you have, Alta Realty and Realtor and just all this Realtor stuff, that tends to shy, some people just tend to not click on it. And for whatever reason, more people click on, the split tests that don't have a name. Also, this is going to be surprising. Don't put the list price, okay? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to perk interest, right? We're not trying to just give everything away at once. There'd be no reason for them to click on your ad. There'd be no reason for them to call you. So, and if they don't want to do that, then we don't want to talk to them anyway because they're definitely not, a prospect. So if we can pique their interest and we can get them to take action, then they are much further down the pipeline of, actually converting a lead. So we want to start there. So don't put the list price, limit the photos to 2 to 4 photos only. Again, we don't want to show them everything. Also list only 5 of the top selling features. Don't list everything. And then you have to have a strong call to action. And the call to action is going to link you to a lead capture site. In our case, we use the single property websites with Sierra. So let's just take a look at examples now. Okay, so here is an example of the actual ad that is converting very, very well. So you just list, and this is a funny, this is kind of a psychological thing. They put a dollar sign, 3 bedroom. So 3 bedroom, 1,381 square foot upgrade waiting for you. Only 4 pictures. Gorgeous house. You just have a little something about it. To get more details and pricing about the website, and to look for other properties for free, go to my website, blah, blah, blah. Here's the site. So what that needs to do, and here's another example, same kind of thing. You're giving some of the stats. You're giving, this has too many images, in my opinion, but you're giving some of the stats. You're giving some of the attributes of the home, and then you're saying, for more information, go to my website. So the website, of course, would be something like this. And this is Harold's, one of Harold's listings, of course. And so what you need to do when we create this site is we go into our agent, our back end agent marketing profile and scroll down here and see where it says registration requirement on pay-per-click traffic and registration requirement on all traffic. What we're going to do is we're going to click those and do it require on all listings. And we're going to do the same thing on this one, require on all listings. So what that does is when somebody clicks on the site, it immediately pops up that little box that says, give me your information, and you can see the stuff. So the reason we want to do that is because if we just let them look at the listing, we're never going to hear from them. They're going to get all the information they want, and we will never know that they were there. So that does us no good to fulfill the second and third and fourth part of this entire strategy, right? So that doesn't work for us. So you can choose to allow someone to view 3 different properties before that little box comes up. You can allow them to view 8 properties, but not a good idea because again, they're going to get all the information they want and you're going to get nothing. So you're giving stuff for free and you at least want to be able to capture their information and their lead. So this is the entire, assignment here. So we want to have nothing. You want to have no. We don't allow them to come and view anything. Leave that blank. Don't even allow one. And that's the way we're going to run these advertisements. So of course, save and continue. And now when someone comes to this website, they're going to have to see that little box that comes up and says, hey, give me your email address. And you can choose to collect just the email address and phone number, or you can choose to force either or neither. But it's very important that you get one or the other, or this entire process doesn't work. So once you've done that and they have, reached out to you, you need to do the most important step, which is to follow up with a phone call. So this is the way almost all of these conversations will go. Hello, and I'm calling to follow up on you saw that my advertisement. Can I provide any more information for you? And 999 times out of 1,000, they're going to say, I'm good. I don't need any information. That's when you say the most important line ever. You say, I totally understand. Have you already sold your current home? Or are you looking to find a replacement prior to selling your current home? So you've now opened up the conversation. You're going to find some very, very valuable information. They're going to tell you, yes, either I've already sold my home and I'm just looking, I'm looking, but almost 1,000% of the time, they are not going to have done that yet. And they are going to say, yes, actually, I'm waiting to sell my home. And so this is where you offer them an irresistible offer, right? A deal you can't pass up. So you say, let me send you my bulletproof CMA that will accurately show you the current value of your home so you have a great starting point when you're looking to sell your current home. Can I do that for you? Boom. You've got maybe you have, and now you've at least opened up the conversation. We've opened the doors. We're giving them something for free. Again, we gave them information on the website for free just because they gave us their name and address and phone number or whatever it was. And now we're talking to these people. So it's a very powerful strategy, and you've got to do this entire strategy. You can't skip any steps in order for it to work. So if you're putting this thing out on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Oodle, Realty WW, and anywhere else, you're going to increase your net, with which you're going to be able to capture these leads. So that's where it's like, all right, this is guerrilla marketing. This is roll up your sleeves. This doesn't cost anything to do these things. You can, do some, sponsored ads and stuff like that as well. But this is pure guerrilla marketing, pure roll up the sleeves, and let's get some stuff done. So, Bill, any takeaways from this particular strategy on getting listing leads?
No, it's interesting for sure. I'm sure it could work. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Is there any cost involved?
No. I mean, the cost is, you have to have your CRM system, which
Okay.
which provides the single property website, which is, a crux of the of the strategy.
Well, yeah, and just having those, just looking at Harold's listing here, it's a beautiful, obviously really well presented property.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a showpiece, and you do it not only for your, for the buyers that are going to be, looking at this, but obviously you do this for the sellers to make sure that they know that you're presenting their property in, a very, very, professional way, right?
Gotta have the professional photography. It's absolute must.
Yeah, and then, you'll notice that this is the only high res shot that we use. These down here, we can get away with, slightly smaller resolution photos. So, and that's the one little trick that I always say is that, hey, make sure that we have at least one high res photo for this because this looks glorious when it's just high res like that, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
so you were saying don't the put like a different price, or we're
no price,
no
zero price. Yeah, so the key is to get the people to click on it, on your website. All right.
mm-hmm.
And another version of somebody's, URL. Our URLs are, of course, this one is 321 Bachman Avenue, Los Gatos, and all of our, trunk domains are onepageproperties.com. Yeah. So
Got it.
yeah, so it's really, really important to have that. And then, of course, the most important thing is to be able to force that registration. So without those two things, the strategy doesn't work at all.
Right, but I think that's enough of a lead, attention getter, you know, inquiry type of bait to get them to do that. I mean, if somebody, and if they're gonna leave their information and leave their real information, they probably are a pretty good lead, to be honest.
100%. And you'll know, 100% right away. It's either a fake name or a fake deal. Move on to the next. So this is always as we talk about with leads and lead generation. It's a numbers game. You got to have tons of them, and you got to just be able to weed through the crappy ones and just get to the ones that are actually going to bring you money.
Yeah, you can't get hung up on, five of them that, sucked or whatever. You just gotta know that the quicker you get through the bad ones, that means the good ones right around the corner.
100%.
Yeah, we had it.
Then,
We
yeah,
had it.
and then the last part of the entire strategy bill is to, of course, utilize the CRM and make sure that if they don't bite right away, get them on your drip campaigns, get them on your newsletters, and
Uh,
keep them hooked in. Make sure they're a part of your list.
just plug and play, right?
That's it, buddy.
Well, we had the Morgner team was doing something. They weren't doing quite this, but they were doing other types of kind of guerrilla marketing, and they were closing. I mean, granted, he had three or four, five agents under his team, but they were closing about 60 deals a year, and most of their leads were people they didn't. Of course, they had some repeat clientele because obviously you do enough deals, you start having those people come back and use you a second, third time. But I mean, they were pounding some of these leads and they were doing big numbers.
Absolutely. Yeah, and
But
so bringing that the CMA, the bulletproof CMA is a great little bait thing to dangle because what homeowner doesn't want to see a detailed CMA that would basically mirror a an appraisal. Of course, they all want to see it.
yeah, exactly. That's good. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, good strategy here. And then I also I'll include a few when I send out the replay. I'll include a couple of the other strategies that I've gone over in the past. One's a kind of an expired strategy. There's a direct mail strategy, and I think I went over them, I don't know, a couple months ago. But it's just good to have them in front of your face again, and then you can try all of them.
Yeah, there's also a for sale by owner uh strategy, right? Those,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I mean, those are to me, I mean, we can get into that maybe next week, but it's like if you got some time, you're not real busy, and I mean, I'm not gonna give away the secret today, but we can get into it. But that's a pretty easy angle on that.
Oh yeah, and I have expired letter templates that work like very, very well. So if you want to get into that deal, schedule an appointment with me and I will help you with that stuff because I think those are great strategies as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can put that on the books for next week and go over some of those strategies because I like those.
Oh yeah. Well, perfect. Well, agents, thanks so much for spending Wednesday morning with us. Appreciate it. Get out there. I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope you guys make it a productive week. And we will see you guys next Wednesday on the webinar. Thank you very much.